Welcome back to my channel, Gaming Etc. I'm your host, Etc. Dude, and today we are continuing our playthrough of Madoka Magica Portable, The Destiny Could Be Changed, the Homura chapter. In the last video, we started up this one with Homura basically starting to herself that this is it, this is going to be the last time she's ever going to do this. She's going to save Madoka even if it costs her everything. And so she began her journey to do so, in which she did as much as possible to prevent Kyubey from interacting with Madoka and Sayaka subsequently. But Kyubey, being persistent and knowing what it wants to do, really pushed that forward and kept just appearing, which meant that Homura always had to be on guard and really step up that role. Ultimately, Kyubey ended up recruiting Mami into this. Mami was of course reluctant to want to do it, but said, hey, if they're already magical girl candidates, they should know what comes with being a magical girl, and accepted that part. This of course added more of a complex issue to what was already a complicated problem for Homura, in which now she didn't have to just worry about Kyubey, now she had to worry about Mami, and not to piss off Mami, because Mami is a veteran magical girl, regardless of how you look at it. In the end, while trying to also save Mami, she ended up going to go fight the witch Charlotte to prevent that from happening, but Mami intervened. And once she got released from the binds, she went to go save Mami, and a grateful Mami saw that, hey, Homura wasn't the bad guy anymore. So that's where we've left it off. And all that's left for us is to, of course, continue. So let's go ahead and get started. And so here we are, day 8, noon, and our only choice is Mami. And as I mentioned, we had just saved Mami from the clutches of Charlotte, and now we have a grateful Mami that understands, hey, we're not the bad guy. So we've more than likely swayed her over to our side of understanding that Kyubey really is the bad guy. Now what will happen? The only way to know is to, of course, continue the story, so let's go ahead and get started. I was able to save Mami. Maybe this will increase my chances of saving Madoka. Were you here, Homura? I was looking for you. What's wrong, Mami? I never properly thanked you for yesterday. You already did. All I did was say thank you. That's enough. That won't do. You saved my life. I need to thank you properly. But I said you could repay me by helping from now on. That's that. This is different. Have you eaten, Homura? No, not yet. Good. I made a lunchbox. Want to eat together? Huh? Since we'll be working together, we can trade information too. Right? Yeah. Great. Then let's have lunch. Here, this one's for you, Homura. Thanks. At first, I thought you were the type to see all of the magical girls as rivals. Can't blame you. A lot of magical girls really are like that. But I was wrong. You fight for someone else too. I know another magical girl like that. She became a magical girl wishing for others' happiness, fought with all of her heart, and was betrayed. I think she's still working as a magical girl in another town. I see. It must be Kyoko Sakura. When I made my contract, there was no other choice if I wanted to survive. So I really admire those who contracted for someone else and fight for others. I'd like to see her again. I think I could understand her better now. Ah, sorry. I've been talking too much. Don't worry about it. Maybe that's why I wanted to fight for others, and why I reached out to Madoka and Sayaka too. Mami, there's actually another reason why I saved you. Huh? Soon, Walpurgisnacht will come to the city. Walpurgisnacht? I've only heard rumors. Does that witch really exist? Yes, it's real. The most powerful witch. And it's coming here? If left alone, there'll be countless victims. If the rumors are true, they could destroy an entire city. I saved you because I need as many allies as possible. I understand. I'll fight with you. I'll fight Valpurgisnacht by your side, Homura. Thank you. That means a lot. You saved my life. It won't let you face danger alone. Mami's emotionality increased by 20. Homura's emotionality increased by 10. We have now moved into the evening of day 9. Your only choice is Sayaka. And in the last scene, we've seen that, yes, Mami is now on our side entirely. Of course, we didn't quite tell her all the parts to why we're doing this, but we did get the main point around that Valpurgisnacht is coming to Mitakihara, and we need as many able-bodied, strong magical girls to help fight Valpurgisnacht. And so Mami has agreed to join us and agreed to be by our side. So that'll be a great help in the end, and works perfectly well for what Homura is doing. Of course, in order to see that happen, we have to continue, so let's go ahead and do that. I slept so well again. Sayaka, you were totally out cold. Didn't you hear the teacher clearing their throat over and over? Good. Everyone's acting normal. Kyubey's still hiding somewhere, not showing himself. It's almost scary how nothing's happening at all. I just hope nothing happens to them like this. No sign of witches at the hospital either. That's... Sayaka. She looks so depressed. Why? Why does it have to be Kyosuke? Kyosuke? Even if my fingers moved, they'd be useless. So why Kyosuke and not me? This is bad. Is Sayaka about to make a contract? Just to heal Kyosuke Kamijo? Wait, they told you Kyosuke Kamijo's fingers would never move again, didn't they? How do you know about that? Whatever the reason, don't you dare think about making a wish for him. If you do, you have to pay the price that wish demands. What are you saying? Wishes? Prices? What are you talking about? Right. This doesn't concern you. Good. Looks like I was just worrying over nothing. What's your deal anyway? You pop up like you've been sneaking around, then stick your nose into my business. Alright. Sorry for stopping by. Jeez. She's gone. Should I follow Sayaka? But if I say anything else, it might just backfire. Here we have the Homura button, and it reads, think about how Sayaka is acting. Should I follow up to make sure she doesn't make a contract? And the choices are follow Sayaka myself. Sayaka still doesn't trust me. Will she listen if I tell her myself? Or ask Madoka to handle it. Sayaka still doesn't trust me. It might be better if Madoka talks to her. For the choices here, you want to send Madoka to go talk with Sayaka. They are best friends after all. And your interference would just make more trouble than there should be. So we're going to choose the second option here. Sayaka still won't believe me. If I try to say it myself, it'll backfire. I'll have to ask Madoka to stop Sayaka from making a contract. Madoka's house. I've been here many times, but somehow it feels nostalgic. A warm family, a warm space. No matter how much the world changes, surely only Madoka's house remains unchanged. Huh? Homura? Madoka, why are you in front of my house? Do you need something from me? Could it be you live nearby or something? I came to ask you a favor today. A favor? What is it? It's about Sayaka. Sayaka? Madoka? A guest? Yeah, a friend. I see. I baked some cookies the other day, so why don't you come inside? That's true. Homura, do you want to have tea at my house? I can ask about your favor there. Huh? Sorry. It's a very urgent matter. I see. That's too bad. Well then, I'll ask you here. Sorry. No, it's fine. So the matter, it's about Sayaka, right? Sayaka's worried right now. About Kyosuke's injury. Yeah, it's tough for him, isn't it? Kyosuke's injury isn't in good condition. And to heal it, Sayaka might make a contract with Kyubey. Huh? I think I mentioned it before. A contract with him brings nothing but misfortune. That's why I want you, Madoka, to stop Sayaka from making a contract. That's fine, but... Homura, how do you know about this? That's... Sorry, I can't tell you right now. I'm sure she wouldn't believe me if I did. I see. So I just contact Sayaka, right? Yes. Got it. I'll contact her. Thank you. Now we're at the evening of day 10, and we have a new visitor here, which we have Kyoko, who is our only choice. But in the scene we've just watched, we've seen that Homura's put in basically a very sticky situation. One is she's patrolling to make sure that nothing bad happens, that she can prevent as many witches and as many interactions with Kyubey trying to contact Madoka and subsequently Sayaka. She found that Sayaka had heard the news about Kyosuke, that his hand will no longer work, that he's basically useless in the future. And so she goes up to her to see the situation, make sure that she doesn't make contract of any sort with Kyubey, but then falls back to figure out that she doesn't really have that kind of rapport with Sayaka. She could say whatever she wants to Sayaka, but Sayaka wouldn't know. She could say whatever she wants with Sayaka, but Sayaka wouldn't believe her. Why should she? She's just some random transfer student that has injected herself into her life and Madoka's. Yeah, doesn't quite work out that well. So, Homura did the smart thing and has since enlisted Madoka to talk to Sayaka and say, hey, make sure this doesn't happen. I'm asking you this simple favor. Madoka has agreed, but will it work? Well, we won't know until we continue the story. So let's go ahead and do that. Strange. Not seeing a single witch for the past few days. It's like some zealous hunter has been lying in wait and taking them down ahead of me. Ha 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 ha. Guess it was the right choice to come to this town after all. That voice. You don't often find hunting grounds crawling with this many targets. Kyoko Sakura. Who are you? Homura Kemi. Same as you, a magical girl. Huh. I see. So we're comrades, huh? Could you be that irregular one I've been hearing about? I've heard plenty about you from Kyubey. I see. That saves us time then. So, in this town, it's you and Mami holding the turf, huh? Well, with this many prey around, 2 magical girls could probably make plenty off of it. But things change once I enter the picture. So, here's my proposal. You need grief seeds too, right? So how about teaming up with me? Team up? With you? Yeah, the 2 of us can crush Mami and drive her out of this town. Thanks, but I have no interest in territory wars between magical girls. So you're the same type as Mami. Are all magical girls in the city like that? Well then, so be it. I'll do as I please, and if you get in my way, you'll be the first I crush. Just so you know, when I fight, I don't hold back. Saw my reputation's spread this far? Huh? Save me the trouble of explaining. Kyoko's emotionality increased by 30. And now we've moved into the night of day 10. And we've just gotten an introduction into Kyoko. Headstrong as always. While Homura is going around trying to protect Mitakihara City from witches and prevent any possibility of Madoka becoming a magical girl, here's Kyoko working in the shadows, having been invited more than likely by Kyubey to defeat witches around here and more than likely throw a wrench into Homura's plan. Kyoko had the impression that, hey, together with Homura, they could take down Mami and have the city off to themselves. Of course, Homura doesn't want any part of that. She already has her own plans. And having Kyoko here, while it does throw a wrench into it all, I'm sure she can find a way to fix that. How that'll come into play? Well, of course, we still got to continue the story, so let's go ahead and do that. And we have two choices. We have Kyoko and Sayaka, and I'm just going to choose Sayaka for this one. There it is! Super rare CD. I can see Kyosuke's surprised face. Sayaka, thank you for letting me listen to such rare CDs. This is my present to you. Smooch. Just kidding, totally kidding. If something like that happened, what would I do? Jeez. Me having this kind of wild fantasy? This might be a little dangerous. But this happiness bubbling up inside me, there's nothing I can do to stop it. Sayaka Miki. She's awfully cheerful today. What could have happened? Don't tell me. I don't want to think about it, but something about her behavior is clearly off. It's worrying. I just hope it hasn't come to the worst case scenario. Homura's emotionality increased by 10. It is now the evening of day 11, and our only choice is Homura. And we're going to go into a witch's labyrinth to, of course, prevent another possibility of Madoka becoming a magical girl, or any slight inkling of that even happening. But in the last scene, we've got to watch Sayaka doing their normal thing, buying another CD for Kyosuke. But as Homura noted, she seemed awfully cheerful. More cheerful than normal, especially after having learned the news that Kyosuke's hand wouldn't work, so those 2 and 2 don't match up. She's wondering that if the worst case scenario had happened, that she'd actually made a contract with Kyubey in order to heal Kyosuke's hand. Of course, we don't know. It ended abruptly, and we have no idea whether or not it did or didn't. But the only way for us to find out is, of course, to continue the story, and that's what we're going to do. The soul gem is reacting violently. That means a witch's barrier is nearby. Is that a line of people? That bastard of a manager humiliated me over and over, and then firing me on top of that. Screw him! Dumped my boyfriend. Fired from my job. There's no place left for me in this world. That's right. I don't belong anywhere either. In a world like this, what's the point of living? People marked by the witch. All of them are walking in the same direction. They're all heading to that building. The witch's barrier must be there. Looks like some kind of factory. But what are these people planning to do here? Hitomi, please! Snap out of it! That voice. He told me. Hey, he told me. Madoka. Madoka. Why are you here? Ah, Homura. What are you doing in a place like this? He told me he was acting strange, so I followed her. But then I found so many other people acting the same way. We're about to set out on a journey to a better world. Wouldn't you like to come with us too? Madoka, Homura. They're trying to kill themselves. Suicide? Look, those buckets. It's cleaning chemicals. My mom said mixing those is deadly. They're trying to mix them together. Everyone, are you ready? The suffering only lasts a moment. In no time, we'll be free. Homura, we have to stop them. They'll all die. If I just throw this outside, I can't stop time for long. But with Madoka here, I can't afford to undo it carelessly. I'll leave these people frozen for now. First, we need to get Madoka to safety. Madoka, are you alright? Ah, Homura. Wait, the buckets. And everyone. Calm down. I've taken care of the buckets. The people are just frozen in place. Frozen? Wait. That's your magic, Homura? Yes, they'll stay frozen until I get you somewhere safe. You can do something like that? Homura, that's amazing. Thank you. But there's no time to relax. A witch is nearby. You need to get to safety, now. Okay. But you're going alone? Will you be alright? I'll be fine. Just stay somewhere safe. Okay. Homura, don't lose. You're not alone. Alright, time to hunt the witch. The barrier is beyond that door. I can feel its presence. Just as I thought. The witch is here. The space is twisting. The barrier is forming. But it doesn't matter. I'll push forward. And crush the witch. Homura. Mami. I sensed a reaction near the factory, so I followed the witch's presence here. You too? Yes. I see. Would you like to fight together? Remember what we talked about on the rooftop. I said I'd help you, Homura. You saved my life after all. You don't need to worry about that. But I'd welcome fighting together. Good. Then let's go. Hold it right there. Don't think you could just forget about me. You're Sayaka. Just kidding. Well, what do you think, Mami? Does this magical girl look suit me? Sayaka Miki. That said, this is my first battle, so I'll be counting on you two for support. Mami's emotionality increased by 20. Homura's emotionality increased by 20. So, how was my whole hero for justice routine? Yeah, it didn't feel like your first time at all. You did great. You're making me blush with all that praise. What's wrong, Homura? You look so gloomy. You should be glad you've got another teammate now. Me, you really are something else. Homura, are you okay? Madoka. Oh, Mommy's here too. Sayaka? Sayaka, that outfit of yours. Huh? Well, what do you mean? Call it a change of heart, maybe. I wanted you to see me in action, Madoka. From now on, I'm a hero protecting this town. Oh, don't think I made this contract on a whim, okay? That's harsh, Madoka. I didn't decide lightly. I thought about it for a long time. I won't regret it. For that one wish, I felt I could stake my life on it. Sayaka. Right. Even if she regrets it now, it won't change anything. If nothing can be done, the only choice is to move forward, no matter what happens. And so now we moved into noon, day 12. We have 3 choices. We have Mami, Kyoko, and Madoka. We're going to end up picking Madoka, but to dissect what just happened, we went out on a witch hunt. Of course, being the witch, H and Elly. And while we were there, we found Madoka, and he told me because Madoka was trying to save Hitomi. And so we left into action to deal with that situation and save everybody there from committing suicide. Then we went on to go into the witch's barrier to find Mami there, who had followed her own soul gem and followed along to find the witch here. But much to our surprise, we also found Sayaka. Sayaka had made the contract with Kyubey in order to save Kyosuke's hand. And now we had one more magical girl to the team. Of course, she tried to impose herself and being like, hey, I'm already part of this team. But she's new, and this, of course, is a real wrench into Homura's whole plan because she didn't want Sayaka to contract because it seems inevitable that Sayaka will basically turn into a witch once she contracts. Will that happen? Will we prevent that? Of course, the only way to find that out is to continue the story. So that's what we're going to do. Sayaka, here, eat this. Whoa, a bagel sandwich? My dad made too many, so I'm sharing them with you. Oh, sure, you'd say that. You had to make a bunch of them on purpose, didn't you? What? Well, maybe. I knew it. You don't have to be so worried about me, Madoka. But you're going to fight witches, right? Eat plenty so you build up your strength. Sorry. This is all I've got to help you with right now. Thanks. I really appreciate your support, Madoka. The truth is, it was inevitable I'd become a magical girl. I found a wish I wanted to make. Even if it means putting my life on the line, I can accept that. There was a reason strong enough to make me feel that way. So don't feel guilty for me. All that matters is that you, Madoka, didn't become a magical girl. Sayaka Miki has become a magical girl. It's my fault. With my eyes off her, she's going to realize the weight price for the wish she asked for. And when that price turns into suffering, she will. I won't let Madoka suffer that pain and sorrow again. Homura's emotionality increased by 20. Here we are, noon of day 13, and our only choice is Madoka here, but we just got to see the aftermath of the following day after Sayaka had made her contract with Kyubey, in which Madoka's only way to support her is, of course, to make sure she's strong enough to fight off witches, giving her food. Of course, that's kind of arbitrary overall. It's really dependent on whether or not you have the magic power and, of course, some other factors. But they don't know that. That said, Sayaka said she knows and understands the risks that she took, but it was well worth it in her eyes. And she said the real important thing was that Madoka didn't contract, that she didn't become a magical girl. Sayaka becoming one just to her feels like, hey, it's just an inevitability. Of course, Homura sees it as a, fault on herself for not keeping such a close eye on Sayaka and making sure, hey, this wasn't going to happen. Will the inevitable happen with Sayaka? Who knows? But the only way to figure that out is, of course, to continue on. So let's go ahead and do that. I was careless about Sayaka Miki. I have to do something before things get worse. This is a soul gem, the source of a magical girl's power. Wow, it's like a jewel. With this jewel's power, I, a magical girl, can fight witches. I don't really understand. What exactly is a witch? In short, they're things that bring calamity. Witches possess people and control their actions. Those influenced might commit suicide, accidents, even murder. Murder? Yeah. You've seen the news, right? All those mysterious incidents lately? Yeah. Most of them are caused by witches controlling people. Really? Yeah. But even for me, a magical girl, it's hard to grasp. Everything I said so far is just what I've heard from Kyubey. In the end, all I do is use this soul gem to locate witches, go to where they live, and defeat them. Isn't it scary? If a witch hits you, can't you get seriously hurt? It's funny, but it doesn't really hurt that much. I guess magical girls fighting for justice don't take that much damage. Wow. It's like you're a true ally of justice. Yeah. You're protecting everyone, Sayaka. Yeah, I guess. It's a little embarrassing though. But why is Homura against becoming a magical girl? I don't know. Maybe she has some spiritual reason. Some perk only magical girls get. I wonder. Really? Sorry, but I don't really trust that transfer student. To me, she seems genuinely worried though. You think that, huh? I just can't understand that feeling. Oh, one thing. I was planning to go see Kyosuke. Sorry, Madoka. I'm going ahead. See you tomorrow. Say hi to Kyosuke for me. Sayaka. Are you worried about Sayaka? Kyubey. That guy. If you want to protect Sayaka, there's a good way. A good way? You just have to become a magical girl like Sayaka. If you want, make a contract with me. Kyubey, I won't let that happen. Somehow, made it in time. I know killing him won't change anything, but at least we got through this situation. Madoka, I won't let you become a magical girl. Absolutely not. Huh? Kyubey, you were just here. Madoka's karma value increased by 10. Now we moved into the evening of day 13, and our choices are Mami, Sayaka, and Madoka. We're gonna pick Madoka just for the sake of, hey, what I said we were going to do. But anyways, we have gone to see in a course that Homura's still blaming herself for this oversight that Sayaka had become a magical girl. While she's looking out and looking over them, here's Sayaka showing off, hey, here's my soul gem, this is what it does. But everything I know is just hearsay from Kyubey, which is pretty accurate. Most of these magical girls don't know a lot until they know something, and even that is just a fraction of what they should know. Of course, Madoka worries about Sayaka, and when Sayaka leaves, Kyubey, figuring, hey, I already got one, let's try for the other one, steps in and says, hey, you know, you could better protect her if you became a magical girl. It would be the best way, and then you're both magical girls, which is the end goal that Kyubey wants. But since Homura was in the area, she managed to prevent that situation from happening and left it at that. So Madoka was confused as to where Kyubey went, not knowing that Homura had taken care of Kyubey, and Homura had prevented that situation from happening again. Will Kyubey still continue its relentless assault of trying to contract Madoka? More than likely, yes. But how will that happen? Well, the only way to know is to, of course, continue the story. That's what we're going to do. Homura. Madoka. Please, just for a moment, I want you to listen to me. I have something to talk about with you. Homura, you want to talk to me, Madoka? Alright. About what? It's about Sayaka. She's very strong-headed and stubborn. She gets into arguments easily. But she's really a good kid. She's kind and brave, and when she thinks of helping someone, she pushes herself too far. I see, she may be a good kid, but as a magical girl, that's dangerous. Excessive kindness becomes a weakness, and carelessness leads to danger. Sayaka says she's fine, but is she really okay? If something happened to her, I don't know what I'd do. You're worried about Sayaka, huh? Yeah, I can't help Sayaka anymore. So, I want to ask you, Homura, please help Sayaka. Even when fighting witches, if everyone cooperates, it's safer, right? Can't promise that. I don't want you to be a magical girl. And I won't make promises I can't keep. What? I can, however, support her. I'll watch over her, so her fate doesn't get worse. I told you the same. Thank you, Homura. That's enough for me. If you watch over her, Homura, Sayaka will surely manage, right? Madoka? I hate to repeat it, but there's no guarantee it will go well. Becoming a magical girl is a mistake from the start. Once you become a magical girl, there's no hope of undoing it. That's why you're the only one who is absolutely... I understand. Unlike Sayaka, I don't have a wish worth exchanging everything for. I will never become a magical girl. That's okay, right? Yes. Madoka, don't ever forget those words. Madoka's karma value increased by 10. We are now at the evening of day 14, and our only choice is Sayaka. As we can see, it's going to be another witch's barrier here. But from the last scene, this time Madoka had something to ask of Homura, and that's that she look after Sayaka. Sayaka, of course, being very precious to her. It's her best friend overall. And of course, she'd be worried about her. Sayaka's kind of headstrong. And yeah, could be quick to make very rash decisions. And Madoka doesn't want that. So she's asked Homura if she could look after her in any way possible. Of course, Homura's reluctant because her only end goal is to save Madoka. The other girls are just, extra, and she really doesn't want that. So, but she said she would do the best she can, but there are absolutely no promises. And that worked enough for Madoka. Of course, also Madoka reiterated that she doesn't have anything she believes that is worth making a wish for, and thus making a contract to become a magical girl. Will that hold up until the very end? I mean, we still got days to go, so we'll see. Anyways, Let's go ahead and continue. The soul gem is reacting strangely. A witch? No, a familiar. Still, that's a weird reaction. That power. Sayaka Miki and Kyoko Sakura. No way. Those two meeting like that? I have to hurry. Hey. What are you doing? It's getting away. That voice. The barrier's starting to fade. Looks like the familiar ran off. Let's pull back for now and watch. Can't you tell by looking? That's familiar, not a witch. So what? Just let it eat 4 or 5 people and wait until it becomes a witch. If you do that, you'll get a grief seed. See? The people the witch is attacking. You're going to just leave them to die? Sayaka, you prance around talking about saving people and justice. Is that what this is? A little joke to show off? You didn't actually make a contract with Kyubey, did you? So what if I did? What's it to you? Hey, could you stop that? It really pisses me off when people stick their noses in for fun. Shut up! This is the worst case scenario. I expected trouble, but I didn't expect Madoka to be here. Sayaka! Madoka, it's dangerous to get close. But if I don't do something, Sayaka will. It's true. Sayaka is in a desperate life or death spot. No way. With her current skills, she can't beat Kyoko. Kyoko knew that too. That's why she intentionally provoked her. Please, Kyubey, make it stop. This can't be happening. I can't do anything to intervene in that fight. You need to be a magical girl yourself. But Madoka, if you wish for it, you could gain that qualification. Kyubey, trying to tempt Madoka into becoming a magical girl in this situation? No choice but to act. What will you do, Madoka? You don't have to. What? It moved out of range. I'm done for. Huh? Wait. Nothing happened to me. Where the hell did you go, you rookie? What? Where did that girl, Kyoko Sakura, go? They were so far apart. What happened? To separate them both at once? Impressive. Like this. Homura, Kemi. Was that you? Homura, what happened? Homura saved Sayaka. Both of you stop. There's no time to explain. Huh? The familiar is returning. The barrier is reforming. It's dangerous to stay here. But, just go. You restrained Sayaka, right? Leave together. Quickly. Okay. Sayaka, let's go. Now then, what will you do, Kyoko Sakura? A familiar's barrier? Huh? If it won't produce a grief seed, I have no interest. I'll deal with you then. If protecting Madoka is at stake, I can't hesitate. everyone's still worried about Sakamiki and Kyoko Sakura, who tried to target her, I won't be able to take my eyes off those two for a while. Homura's emotionality increased by 10. And now we've reached day 15, and I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And so that's it for this playthrough of Madoka Magica Portable. The Destiny Could Be Changed, the Homura chapter, in which we've seen that, one, after saving Mami from Charlotte, Mami was very grateful to Homura and even saw her side and decided that, hey, I want to help you out and I also want to give you proper thanks. Homura, of course, without really revealing the whole reason why she's doing this, said, you know what, you could help me fight Walpurgis now. When it comes around, you can help me fight it. And Mami, of course, agreed. In the meantime, Homura's doing every bit of effort to make sure that nothing bad comes to Madoka that she doesn't contract, and equally as much that Sayaka doesn't contract. But unfortunately, she failed at one of those, and that is that Sayaka did become a magical girl. Going so far as to saying, hey, now I'm another magical girl, Ami Takehara. So shouldn't you be happy about that? Homura, of course, is reluctant because in all situations, Sayaka had become a witch when she became a magical girl, and she doesn't want that to happen again. She doesn't want Madoka to have to suffer through that. So she's doing her best effort to avoid that situation. So just like before, she's still going around the city defeating witches to prevent any potential risk or danger of Madoka becoming a magical girl. Of course, Kyubey is really pushing hard, and that makes it a little bit harder. So much so that Kyubey had thrown in the wrench of Kyoko into Mitakihara just to trip up Homura's plans. And it has seemed to have worked because inevitably Sayaka and Kyoko ended up fighting again. This is something we've seen before, in which they have fought amongst themselves because they cannot come to terms. And the reality being that, of course, Kyoko can't really express her feelings, and her only feelings similar to how most dudes do it, which is fight it out and maybe become friends afterwards, which doesn't seem to work very well. Of course, Homura had to step in again, prevent that from happening, also to prevent Madoka from making a contract. She then went in, took care of the familiar's barrier to avoid that extra hassle. But afterwards, she saw, hey, I can't keep my eyes off those two because they're, now new risk factor, and I have to prevent anything from happening. So will she be successful? Who knows? But the only way to figure that out is, of course, to continue the story. But that'll be for another video. So until then, thanks everybody for watching.